Okay, so this is going to be an instructional slash overview video of this brand new 2026 model Chausson Sportline S514. First of all, we're going to go around the external of the motorhome and then we will go into the habitation area. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to open the bonnet. Two reasons for this. One, so you know how to open the bonnet, and then two, I'm going to show you where the terminal points are in case you need to jump start the vehicle for any reason. As you can see, this vehicle does come with an awning, and you'll get sent a separate link on the email how to set up and use the awning. So to open the bonnet, what you need to do, you need to use your vehicle blade key. So get your key out, and then the insert's here at the front. Twist it to the left, that releases it, and then you need two hands for the next part. Twist and hold to the right, and then lift up the bonnet with your other hand. So as you can see, we've now got access to the bonnet area. So if you need to jump start the vehicle for any reason, down here there is a little silver eye hook there. That is going to be your negative terminal point, and then your positive is going to be under this red cover here. Also underneath the bonnet we have got your screen wash fill as well in front of the driver. So now we are going to carry around the external of the motorhome. So we will continue on the passenger side. So the first compartment you are going to come to is going to be your diesel fill and AdBlue fill. And how to access this, you do need to open the passenger door. Basically the passenger door locks it into place. Top one is going to be your diesel fill. Below, you just need to put your hand in this little handle here, give it a good pull, and that is going to give you your AdBlue fill. All you need to do with your AdBlue, screw cap, take it off, fill it up. Diesel fill above, again it locks into place by the passenger door. Also, while we've got the passenger door open, we have got blackout blinds on the driver and passenger door, and how you use these is this tab here, slide it out to release, and then slide this rail all the way to the top, and then slide it, lock it into place like so. On the front windscreen you've got a blackout blind. You do need two hands for this. You've got a little handle there and one on the far side over there. Use two hands, lift it up, and then they will it will follow this rail, this guide up, and then it will hook on at the top. If you want to put your blackout blind back in its home position, lift this tab up, slide the blind gently down, and then basically lock it into place like so. So now we've got your service hatch. So behind this board here we have got your mains breaker. So that is when you're connected to shore on the 230 volt side, so it could be your plug sockets that may trip. This is where you need to check. Here we have your 12 volt fuse system. So this is anything running off the leisure battery, anything like, it could be USB points, which is charging points, it could be the igniter, it could be the diesel heating, because this is on diesel heating. But this is on your 12 volt system here. This is the fuses that you will need to check if one blows and change. Here we have your fresh water tank. So if we want to fill the fresh water tank up, what we need to do is, first of all, we've got a little drain valve here which we just need to knock down. So when it's in its vertical position, that is to drain down to a minimum level, and then when it's in its horizontal position, that is to drain, that is to close that valve. There is a sticker what indicates what that valve does, and that is, like I said, to drain down to a minimum level for travelling with. So it's roughly a gauge of 20 litres. To empty the fresh water tank completely empty, I'll fill it up. Directly underneath the motorhome there will be a white tap. You need to shut that white tap, and that white tap will then not let any water come directly underneath the fresh water tank and drain out. So you need to shut two taps, one underneath the tank, which is underneath the motorhome, and then put this tap in its horizontal position, and then now we can fill up this fresh water tank and no water is going to drain out. Twist this nozzle out like so, take this cap off, and then put your hose pipe in here. When the water starts to come back out of here, that means your fresh water tank is completely full. Put the cap back on, twist the nozzle back in. Your fresh water is full, ready to use when you need. If you want to drain this down from full to a rough gauge of 20 litres for travelling, all you need to do is lift this valve up in the vertical position, and then you would just need to go to your control panel, turn on your water pump and pump out the water, and then press and hold on the indicator on the control panel for your water level, and keep an eye on the gauge, and that will give you a rough gauge of your 20 litres. So you've got some water to travel in. If you stop, you can make a brew and stuff like that. Here we are connected to mains hookup, so this is going to give us shore power, charge up the leisure batteries, give us 230 volt on the sockets as well. Next to that, we have got your toilet cassette. So if you want to take out your cassette to empty or clean, what we need to do, lift this handle up, slide the cassette towards us, take out the cassette. So if we want to now empty this to clean, this orange nozzle on the left, twist it out to the left. Take this grey cap off, and then basically, if we tilt up the cassette, put your thumb on the button at the top. The button lets air into the top of the cassette because it's like a vacuum. Press down on it, it will release the fluids a lot faster. If you want to clean internally, you can open the blade manually, clean inside with a hose pipe. Also, you can put your chemical in there as well, or your Thetford sachets as well if you want to. After cleaning, shut the blade back up, and then all you need to do is align it, slide it back in place, and then the main thing here is just making sure that this tab is down secure, so when in transit the cassette is not going to move in or out. Here we have your external shower point, so this is cold only, so because this is a brand new vehicle you will get an external shower head as well, but basically it clips onto here and there's a quick release connection there. On top of the shower head there is a trigger, so you will need to turn on your 12 volt system and the pump internally on the habitation, but then the trigger will then obviously release the water for you as well. Here we have your Truma boiler vent. So you need to take this cover off when you want to heat up that hot water on gas. So if you're turning it on gas, you need to pull it from the bottom. It then shows you the flue. So when you're burning gas, this is where the fumes exhaust from. If you do leave this cover on and forget about it when you turn it on gas, you will get a fault. Basically, if you do get that fault, if you forget about it the first time, how to clear the fault is take this, turn the control off for the hot water on the gas, and basically take this cover off. Take the cover off, leave the cover off for around 15 minutes, let the air get in there and get rid of the gas fumes. After about 10 to 15 minutes, turn the gas back on the hot water control, and then it should fire back up and then start heating that water. We have got an access point for your garage on the passenger side, so it's a smaller hole, but on the other side, on the driver's side, you have got a large one. You've got some storage space here. We've got dinette to berth package on this, habitation carpets, you've got a silver screen, awning winder. We've got, the garage is heated, so you've got a vent down here as well. You've got tie down points as well, so if you've got any bikes and stuff like that you want to strap down, you can do. So that is everything on the passenger side. So now we are on the driver's side. As you can see, the garage door is a little larger on this side. We've got a garage light in here. One thing to keep in mind is always turn this off after use. Some people may forget it. Basically, because the 12 volt system's on the control panel, if you're in the habitation, you've shut the door, if this light is left on, it will just stay on until you physically turn it off. So then in effect you are draining your leisure battery a bit faster. We have got 3-pin socket in here as well, as you can see there, and then we've got a 12-volt socket. So the 12-volt works off your leisure battery, the 3-pin socket will work on mains hookup when you're connected to campsite. We've got ventilation for your fridge freezer, and then underneath the rear axle, behind the rear axle, we've got this little handle here, and what that is your grey waste release valve. So how to close your grey waste: basically grab this handle, push it towards the van, and that will then slide the blade over the grey waste drain. If you then want to drain the grey waste, all you need to do, pull that handle towards you, that will release the valve and all the grey waste will empty. Next to the habitation door, we do have external barbecue point. So turn on your gas cylinder, use this valve, you need to turn this valve on, and then quick release onto the end of here to your appliance, to your barbecue, and then you have got outside gas point. The last compartment is going to be your gas locker. So you can fit an 11 kilogram gas load tank in here. It is tight, but you can get an 11 kilogram tank. The 13s in the UK are a bit too big. It's very tight, you can't get them in. And then at the back we have got gas regulator, so you connect onto the top. Because this is a brand new vehicle, it will come with a LPG hose. But yeah, it is quite tight in there when you are trying to get the big ones in. So that is everything external wise on this motorhome. Now we are going to go into the habitation area. We have got fly screen, which is great. One thing to keep in mind though is if you've got the fly screen open and the wind gets hold of the door, just be careful because the door could potentially derail the fly screen and break it. So yeah, just keep that in mind. So we are in the habitation. I'm going to start on the cab area. You've got controls on the steering wheel. Got the new gearbox on the Ford, and then a large media screen. Got charging points at the front there as well. We have got your Type C down there and 12 volt. We've got swivel seats, as you can see, and if we want to swivel the seats, this little arm here, so when they are in the lock position in travel, you just need to pull this lever and then the seats will then swivel around. Underneath the passenger seat, that is where the leisure battery is, and then you can get a secondary leisure battery which is fitted in this cupboard here down there as well, which is great. So you could get 2 leisure batteries on this vehicle. Got a bit of storage there. Again, we've got 12 volt socket, 3-pin socket, more storage. We've got your dining table. Your dining table does swivel out as well, so it extends. Also, this does convert into a single bed. I will attach some images into this video, so you'll see these images of this single bed made up now. So you use that table to make up the dining to berth, and then you've got the infill cushions, which is in the garage, and there's a support board as well which fills here. We have got USB Type C points. There's quite a few of these dotted around. We have got your oven. So one thing to keep in mind, there is a little catch here. A lot of people just pull it, but lift this up here and it will release. There's a little light at the back as well. That is where your oven is. All the windows, blinds have blackout blinds, fly screens. It's fly screen from the top, blackout blind from the bottom. To put the blind down, pinch these, slide down. More storage. Got reading light with a USB point in it. Newspaper rack. 2 travel seats here, which is great. Now I'm going to highlight the control panel. So this is your 12 volt system. Top left, we've got your master on and off. So when you see the green, that means it's on. The next one is your 12 volt system. So you need to turn this on. So this does the lights. It does the 12 volt system as in like the USB point. So you do need to have this on. If you don't want the lights on, all you need to do is just switch off the lights and the master switch. But you still need to have that light symbol on because it's the 12 volt system which is powering certain things in the motorhome. The next one is going to be your water pump. So on your water pump, you only want to turn this on when you've got water in the fresh water tank. If you turn it on and you were gurgling, potentially no water left, you don't want to turn it on when it's dry because you will potentially burn that motor out as well. Next one is a light on its side. That's your external awning slash porch light. Bottom left, press it. It will give you a rough gauge of your habitation battery. Next one is your vehicle battery level. This one here is your fresh water. How I know that is because there's a nozzle open. That means water can pour in. Press it again, it will give you a rough gauge. Currently empty. As you can see here, it is flashing. That means the fresh water tank is empty. And then the last one on the bottom right is to change the brightness of this control panel of the LEDs. So you press and hold if you want to dim it, press and hold if you want to make the LEDs brighter. On the left side here, it's just some indications again. So the bottom left one is your grey waste. How I know that is because the nozzle at the bottom, meaning water can escape. Basically, when your grey waste is full, you will get a flashing light. As you can see, a flashing light on your fresh water because the fresh water is empty. Again, habitation indication, vehicle battery indication. Here we've got a green light next to the plug, and that is just indicating that I'm actually connected to Shower, so I am getting charge and power into this vehicle. If we plug in at campsite and there's no green light there could be a fault. It could be the campsite post, it could be a faulty cable, it could be a fault in the motorhome. So check your mains breaker in the service hatch. But if the green light is on, that means you're taking charge and you've got full power from the campsite post. Above that we have got your diesel heating, and how to turn this diesel heating on. You press and hold this knob in the middle. It will then fire up. So this is brand new to Chausson. So from looking at it, there is quite a lot of settings you can do. You can select dates and times, so you can schedule your heating. You've got your heating here with the wiggly lines, so you can press enter, you can turn it off, or then you can go on to the timer, can select your desired temperature, and then we can select if it's 10 minutes, if it's infinity. You can select, I think it's up to 700 and something minutes. So you can select your desired minutes, or if you want to put it on infinity, it will stay on infinity. Press enter and it will fire up. You've got fan speed, so you can, again, you can turn the fan on to so many minutes as well for blowing the air around. You've got some settings here. You can just change the clock and stuff like that. There's a back button on the right here. So yeah, it's quite straightforward, to be fair. One thing to keep in mind, when you do turn the diesel heating on, it will fire up, and basically you might see some flickering on the lights, and the reason for that is because the diesel heating takes a lot of power. So basically once the diesel heating is fired up, it will then stop flickering the lights. Again, if you turn the diesel heating on, turn the diesel heating off after use, you'll hear it go off, but then you will hear it fire back up. And the reason for it firing back up is the fact that it is burning off any excess fuel in the diesel heating. To turn this off completely, just press and hold the dial in the middle, and it will then fully shut down. So now we're going to go over the kitchen area. As you can see, 3-pin sockets, Type-C USB. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to talk you through how we prime our motorhome with water. So the first thing we need to do, there's one valve I've not got to yet, which is your boiler valve, which is down there underneath that cupboard. So that's one drain valve, which I'll show you in a moment. But first of all, we need to shut all the drain valves. So we need to shut the fresh water tank drain valve. We need to shut the min level to make sure the fresh water tank completely fills up to the top. That's 2 valves at the fresh water. We've got your grey waste, and then we have got a yellow valve, which is for your boiler, which we've not got to yet. So you've got 4 valves you need to shut. Shut all them valves, and then what we can do then, go to our control panel, turn it on, and then turn on that water pump. Now we would come to the tap, and basically we're going to prime our system. We've got water on board, so we're going to twist it to the cold side, open the tap, and what that's going to do is going to vent out any air in the pipework, and then when you get a steady flow of water, that means your pipework is primed, ready to use. So all you need to do is shut that on the cold side. Now we're going to twist it to the hot. But before you open the hot, what this is actually going to do, you open the tap, and then it's going to take water from the fresh water tank to the boiler. So open the tap, again it will take water from the fresh water tank, go to the boiler. The boiler holds between 10 to 12 litres of fresh water. If that yellow valve at the boiler is open, it will miss the boiler, drain directly out underneath the motorhome. Like I said, the yellow valve we will get to when I get to that cupboard. So make sure that yellow valve is down. Once the boiler fills up with water, it will then eventually come through the tap. Once you get a steady flow again on the hot side, shut the tap. That means your water system is primed, ready to use when you need. The only thing you do need to do is boil the hot water, because it's not instant hot water. You do need to boil it, which we'll get to them controls. So that is how you prime your motorhome with water. In this cupboard here, we've just got 2 internal gas valves there. 3, sorry. So basically they're just for if one of the appliances goes faulty. So the external barbecue point goes faulty, you can isolate that and still use the other appliances on gas. We've got a 2-ring gas burner. Your igniters here. One safety advice we do recommend is this glass cover. Is to leave the glass cover up after use, just to let the stove cool down. Because if the stove is still hot, the glass is cold, you could potentially shatter that. We have got a 3-way fridge on this motorhome. So we've got a few controls here. So we'll start on the left side here. So this is the control for the source of power, what we are going to use to cool that fridge down. So basically, we'll start on the far left. We've got battery. Battery is when the engine's running. So you need to manually change this. So if you're going to be driving on a long journey, put it onto battery. So when you're driving, the alternator will split charge. It will charge your vehicle battery first. Once your vehicle battery is at a max limit it can reach, it will then trickle through to your leisure battery. This is taken from a feed from the leisure battery in effect, so because it's being topped up, it's not actually emptying your leisure battery. So travelling, you need to put it on battery. You've got off, so that's completely off. Gas, so if you're off grid, you put it on gas. Again, you've got off on this side, and then the last one, plug socket, is mains hookup. So currently I'm connected to mains hookup, so I would have it on mains hookup, and that's how the fridge will stay cool. Here we've got your gauge for your temperature, which is on a spin dial. But then if we want to ignite this on gas, what we need to do, twist it on the gas. Press and hold this button here, and then press the igniter. And basically, once the fridge ignites on gas, this little dial in the middle here, the green, will move in front, and then you will see that the fridge is fired up on gas and running on gas. Don't forget to turn on your gas cylinder if you are going to be running it on gas off grid. We've got a key component here, which is a bottle opener, great feature, and then we've got your large traverse bed at the rear. So you've got bed ladder, you've got some storage up there, reading light, that's got a USB point on it as well. Bed ladder which hooks on here, and then if you want to get into your storage compartments underneath, all you need to do, lift that bed out the way, and then we can, it will give you a bit more standing space as well if you're not using the bed yet. You've got some storage down here, a 3-pin socket in the corner, more locker space underneath. We've got access here to the garage, so if we don't want to go outside and get wet, we can try and reach through there. More storage space up here, hanging space in this cupboard, but we have got a cupboard door as well there, so that's the hanging space cupboard. Got shoe holder, shoe rack here, and then this yellow valve I'm talking about for the boiler is underneath this cupboard floor. So all you need to do is remove this panel and remove the other one, and then basically it's hard to show you, but see that yellow valve there? That is the valve you need to close so when you want to fill up the boiler with water. So currently in its vertical position as it is now, that is open. To close this valve, how you do this is flick that valve down in its horizontal position. That means it's closed, and then when you prime the system, the boiler will fill up with water. To drain it, manually lift it up, it will empty all the water contents out of the boiler. So then all you need to do is just make sure you put these panels back after you've either closed that valve or opened it for draining. So that is where that yellow valve is lived. And then here are your controls for the hot water. So this is for your boiler. So on the left side we've got boiler EL, which is electric only. So when you're on campsite, you can heat up the hot water on electric. So you got 1 kilowatt low setting, so rocker switch, turn it on, low setting, 1 kilowatt, take about 5 hours to heat up that hot water on electric. Rocker switch off in the middle, down 2 kilowatt, that will take about an hour, hour and 10 to heat up on electric only. Boiler on the right hand side, whereas no, it just says boiler. This is off gas. The first thing you need to do is make sure you turn the gas cylinder on. Turn the gas on, and then you need to remember to remove the flue cover. If you don't remove the flue cover, you will get a red light here eventually and it will fault. So turn the gas on, remove the flue cover, 50 degrees, it will fire up, off, 70 degrees. 70 degrees will probably heat up that hot water on gas probably in 10-15 minutes. As you can see, red lights come up, that means the boiler is faulted. It's because 1, I've no gas connected, but then 2, it could be because obviously you've not turned the gas on or you've not removed that flue cover. And the last thing in here, we have got your integrated shower cubicle and toilet. So if you want to use your toilet, you've got your toilet blade here. So in use, open the blade. After use, close it so no smells come up. Also, you need to close it to release the toilet cassette. Behind it, we have blue button, which is your toilet flush, which uses the fresh water. Again, you need a 12-volt system on for this to work. And then there's a little symbol at the side, what looks like a toilet cassette. And that cassette will light up orange/red when the toilet cassette is full. When you do see that light, that means the toilet cassette is full. Got your basin sink, and then if you want to convert this into your shower area, push this in. It's hard to do this with one hand. There we go, I've released it. Push that in. That then swivels around and then converts into your nice shower cubicle. Again, put it back into place. We have got a little Velcro strap as well for the sliding door, so when in transit you can lock the sliding door too. So that is the instructional video complete of this brand new 2026 model Chausson Sportline S514. If you have any more questions, leave a comment below, or you can always give us a call or drop us an email. We do have more of these available, so make sure you do drop us an email on this.